2 weeks after Hurricane Helene hit Florida, the state is prepping for another severe storm.
Yeah. This Hurricane Milton, as Hal just talked about, is forecasted to hit the Gulf Coast tomorrow night. The damage will be wide-ranging. Fox's Rebecca Castor live in Tampa with the latest from there. Rebecca.
Alex, where we are right now, standing right near the Tampa Bay, is exactly where people should not be at this time tomorrow night. We don't know exactly where Milton is going to make landfall. It could be anywhere from the Tampa Bay area to Fort Myers, and it's going to be the area just south of landfall that is going to have the worst impacts and could get up to 15 feet of storm surge.
This is serious. You got to be safe because people are dying.
Hurricane Milton is on a collision course with Florida's west coast, expected to make landfall overnight Wednesday somewhere between Tampa Bay and Fort Myers. Then it will cross the state before moving out over the Atlantic Ocean.
Well, Milton's not expected to be a Category 5 hurricane, maybe not even a Category 4 at landfall. The storm's going to double in size.
Conditions will be life-threatening. The National Hurricane Center is forecasting up to a foot of rainfall, 15 feet of storm surge, and possible winds over 100 miles per hour. 11 counties, home to about 6 million people, are under mandatory evacuation orders.
So important that people, wherever you are, heed the hazards. Make sure you prepare now.
Gulf Coast residents are feeling the mental and emotional strain of a second hurricane hitting the state in under 2 weeks.
Just too much going on to even think of it. It's all surreal. You know, just keep moving, and that's it.
We're very scared. We don't know what to expect, and we don't know when to come back home.
Despite warnings that some are still choosing not to evacuate.
I've been through it before. You learn from them. Yeah. And I have over the years.
So Milton is expected to weaken before it makes landfall, but you really can't get bogged down on that category number. Whether it is a 5, a 4, or a 3, that storm surge threat is not going to change. And that is why people in these coastal towns really need to evacuate. Alex, Marla, back to you.
Rebecca, the mayor of Tampa put out one of the starkest warnings that I've ever heard. She said that if you are in an evacuation zone and you don't leave, quote, you are going to die. Where you are tonight, Rebecca, does it seem like everybody or the vast majority have listened to her?
So I do feel like the vast majority of people have evacuated. Now, you do have a good amount of folks that are still coming down here to the Tampa Bay area, looking around, taking in the views before tomorrow. Talking with some of these folks, they are going to stay. Some of these people live in higher level apartments. They're not on the first floor. They've moved their cars to higher ground, so they feel comfortable staying. But the vast majority of people, I do think, are listening to these warnings. The roads here have been packed, so that is a good sign.
And how do you stay safe?
Yeah, so we're going to be live tomorrow night during close to landfall. We have our live shot location picked out, a parking garage. We're going to be high ground as well, and we're going to make some of those game time decisions. If we need to cut out and get to inside a hotel, we're going to make that decision, but I think we have a good plan in place.
All right, well, if you can do it safely, we will see you tomorrow night. Hopefully everybody gets through this thing okay. We want to talk more about it now with our chief meteorologist, Adam Kruger.
Fox 11 Weather, sponsored by your SoCal Hyundai dealers.
And Rebecca made a great point in not getting hung up on the category, regardless of it's a 5, 4, 3. That doesn't really tell the whole story. That just tells you how strong the winds will be. But the storm surge will be one of the biggest things, if not the biggest thing, that's going to have the biggest impact as this makes landfall in Florida. This is just kind of a zoomed-in view of the forecast track. This will get adjusted a little bit later on this evening, so hang with us. Later tonight, we'll show you what the latest stats look like for Hurricane Milton. Now, back into our area, we see for one last day, excessive heat warnings in some spots out towards the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs area, low desert, and south of there. But that expires later on this evening as those temperatures finally back off, and it's not expected to be reissued again tomorrow. So we're saying goodbye to those heat alerts. We're going to be warm through the rest of this week, at least warmer than normal, but there are some cooler temperatures coming. I want to show you, though, on Futurecast, which will indicate what the marine layer is up to here as we go through the overnight hours into tomorrow morning. Again, there might be a little mist or drizzle even in some spots, and then just kind of this over the basin, Orange County, the clouds begin in the morning. That will retreat. Still hangs out over the ocean, though, later in the day. This is a look at noon tomorrow. And then late afternoon, we could find it rolling in along some of the beaches or maybe up to the 405 corridor, for example, kind of like what we've seen for the last few days. So no big changes, no big surprises there. On our 7-day outlook, what you're going to notice is the next 3 days, the temperatures are going to be about what we've been seeing lately. So for the coast, it's mid-70s. For LA, Inland OC, it's mid-80s. For valleys and Inland Empire, temperatures still in the 90s. It'll be on the warm side there. Notice what happens, though, as we get into day 4, day 5. Temperatures start coming down a little bit Saturday for everybody, start going down even more for everyone on Sunday, and then next week we're heading into what looks to be a little bit of a cooler than normal pattern, more of a taste of fall with some mid-70s, for example, for Los Angeles. Now, as we look at the mountains, it's kind of the same story, 70s, but changing to 60s towards the end of our 7-day forecast. The high desert, we've got the temps still in the 90s, still warm, but cooling down to much more comfortable 80s, and then in the low desert, where they've seen such extreme temperatures over the last couple of weeks. Still very hot tomorrow. I'm kind of surprised, actually, there's not an excessive heat warning posted, but it does drop to 105, then 103, then 100 by Saturday. And the Palm Springs area finally sees a break in the 100s with those temperatures falling to the 90s by Sunday and on into next week. Alex?